Fill her up.
You've had enough.
Listen, sweetheart. You're here to pour drinks and look pretty. So how about you shut your mouth?
From the demo, it's easy to see that Resident Evil 6 is trying to be a lot of different things for a lot of different people. Action, horror, and suspense are all contributing to the plot and gameplay, and are all trying to stand out separately. You play as zombie-slaying veterans Chris Redfield and Leon Kennedy, along with newcomer Jake Mueller, the supposed son of series antagonist Albert Wesker. The demo offers the chance to play as all three main characters or their partners, one of which being the character Sherry Birkin, who hasn't been seen in the series' plot since Resident Evil 2's story and Resident Evil 3's epilogues. Each character's scenario is different. It's obvious Capcom is trying to make older fans of the series happy, while still making the franchise seem appealing to newer, action-hungry gamers. Leon's scenario takes place in the town of Tall Oaks, and much like every place Leon goes, a bioterror event seems to have taken place. This section is very slow. Not because you have to search for clues and puzzles, but slow because the game forces you to walk, limits when you can run, and makes you follow a non-playable character who has to open certain doors. The setting and the mood is creepy and very reminiscent of the dreary halls of the mansion and the police station from the original games. Like Resident Evil 5, you are followed by a partner that can be playable by another person, and so far it seems that they aren't a drain on your health, ammo, or overall ability to play the game in single-player mode, as Shiva was in Resident Evil 5. Chris's scenario is exactly what a sequel to Resident Evil 5 would feel like. Machine guns firing non-stop, explosions around every turn, and soldiers reinforcing your advance. But this time you're in China fighting the Guavo, which are similar to the enemies from 4 and 5, only this time they fire back. And when they take damage to their limbs, they grow back mutated and act as shields. Chris and his partner Pierce dash from rooftop to rooftop battling these enemies with a new ability. They are able to run and gun, which is truly implemented for the first time in the series here. Other entries such as Outbreak File 2, The Mercenaries 3D, and Revelations have had this feature but in a very lacking way. Here it is like it would be in any modern third-person shooter, which many will love. I myself though like the original controls, which again for the first time have been completely abandoned. Traditional dual analog stick control has been added, along with a cover system, a melee dedicated button, and a sprinting style more like Gears of War than earlier installments of the series. This may make it more welcome to a wider audience, but to someone like me who has been playing for 15 years, I miss the old controls, and it took me a little while to get used to it. The camera is all over the shoulder just like in the more recent games, and you can choose to have a laser sight that has been featured in Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5, or a red dot reticle similar to an FPS.
Roger that. We'll do what we can until you get here.
The newest character to the Resident Evil world is Jake Mueller. Said to be the son of Wesker, he spends his time in the demo running. With Sherry Birkin as his playable partner, he runs away from a BOW that seems to be similar to Resident Evil 3's main baddie, Nemesis. It feels as action-packed as Chris's scenario, but almost like there's a time limit. Because if you stop for a second, you're going to get smashed, and you'll be seeing that infamous "you are dead" game over screen.
What's wrong, asshole? Losing your nerve?
The characters of Chris and Leon have been slightly remodeled since the last time we saw them. Chris seems more or less unchanged aside from his hair, which is now shorter, his nose seems slightly smaller, and his arms are definitely lacking the beef they had in 5, while Leon on the other hand seems to have changed a little more. Story-wise, it's been 15 years since he showed up for his first day on the job in Raccoon City, and 9 since we saw him in Resident Evil 4. He looks older, sounds tougher, but still has his signature haircut. Overall, the demo was a good first taste at the next entry in my favorite series. I do hope, though, for a few slight changes here and there, but aside from little things, it's looking like a good step for the franchise. Will it be the genre-defining game that many of its predecessors were, or will it be a pretty game with lackluster gameplay like Resident Evil 5?